Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I know we are standing in between you guys and lunch for those who have not had yours. But we'll be discussing a very important topic today on sustainability. Okay, so I'm sure you have heard a lot about the urgency and also the importance of taking action to build a sustainable future. Okay, and for that to happen, collaboration between GreenTechs and also corporates are essential for driving scalable and impactful solutions. So today, we're going to have our panel, which will talk about bridging the gap between the collaborations for sustainable impact. Okay, so we'll dive into things like the pilots, the partnerships, and also the impact that will emerge from our UOB FinLab's Regional GreenTech Accelerator program. So I'm Marianne, the Program Director of UOB FinLab. So we are UOB's Innovation Accelerator, and what we do is to help businesses in Singapore and also across the region to transform and innovate through our programs in sustainability and digitalization. So, and together with me today, we have Carolin Barr, founder of SusGain from Singapore. We have Emmanual, co-founder and Head of Business Development for Circular Unite from Singapore. We have Mr. John Oh, founder and Technical Director of Materials in Works from Malaysia. Dr. Am, founder and CEO of Altotech from Thailand. So together they are part of the 33 GreenTechs from our 6 months GreenTech Accelerator program, which we just culminated with a showcase day on Monday, 2 days ago. So through the program, we have also established more than 280 business connections and 15 pilots that were also being announced. And we have awarded a total of more than $100,000 to pilot these 15 sustainability solutions across UOB and with our corporate partners across ASEAN. So by doing this, we want to bridge the gap between ideas and impact to marry the demand from our corporates and SMEs with the supply from our GreenTechs as we progress towards net zero. Okay, so to start things off, we'll talk about some of these pilots and its impact. Maybe let me ask Emmanuel. So you come from a family with a background in the recycling business. And since starting Circular Unite in 2020, you have successfully managed to work with clients in the hospitality, retail, and manufacturing space, and even securing 2 pilots through the GreenTech Accelerator program. So I'm sure this is an example of how pilots have led to greater opportunities for collaboration for you. Maybe you could share with us some of these pilots and also the outcomes and impact that came about through these pilots with the corporates.
Okay, thank you, Marianne. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanual from Circular Unite. So we accelerate businesses' transition towards profitable sustainability by empowering them with a data-driven solution that helps them transform their waste and recycling activities into profitable and sustainable practices. So we are very fortunate to be able to work together with UOB. And in this pilot that we have with UOB and another partner, UOB's partner, which is Nanyang Polytechnic, we are able to then help them enhance visibility on their waste and recycling activities. So traditionally, waste and recycling businesses are very manual based and traditional. There's not a lot of technology that's being used. So there's a saying, what you cannot measure, you cannot manage, right? That goes the same for waste management and recycling as well. So with our technology, we will be piloting this methodology framework as well as the solution to help UOB as well as Nanyang Polytechnic have enhanced visibility of what kind of waste they are generating, how much waste they are generating, and then how then we can use our proprietary AI co-pilot to provide recommendations as well as solutions on how they can tackle this waste issue. Because waste is not exactly something that is very complicated, but the way it is managed makes it very complex to do to have actually positive impact on whatever is being measured and whatever is being done. So with proper technology, data analysis, as well as knowledge base that we provide, we are confident in the various outcomes. So some of the outcomes that we have identified for these projects and these pilots would be to firstly enhance the visibility and reporting. So we work very closely with the banks to understand, okay, what are the matrices and the numbers that are very meaningful for the stakeholders, to the banks, to the schools, and then how can we translate this into meaningful, actionable insights that they can take action upon.
Yeah, thanks, Emmanuel. I guess similarly as well, right, for Dr. Am from Altotech, you are piloting your solution with our UOB corporate real estate team. And, could you share a bit more about the pilot and also how it does, lead into a reduction in terms of your energy consumption and also cost savings to UOB through this pilot implementation?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Marianne. So for, I think, Altotech, we do AI for building energy optimization. So if you think about like built environment, global carbon emission, like 40% is gonna come from built environment, and we have like we call it like operational carbon, right, and embodied carbon. So it's like half and half. For embodied carbon, it's like I think construction and vendor who provide those materials, they also like have some work to do, like 50%, and another 50% that we have to do a lot, because for buildings, when they build, it's gonna last for like 50 years, 100 years, something. So it has a lot to do with operational carbon, and by operational carbon, like 60% is gonna come from aircon, right? And I think we see like a lot of gaps for like building energy management. We try to compare it with the car, right? So for the car, we wanted to drive. We want to save gas and go from point A to point B securely. Building the same thing. The problem with building is that you cannot find there's like in Thailand there are like 100,000 of buildings. You cannot find good driver. It's really tough. There's machines and there's like we talking about chiller plants. We talking about like airside, HU, FCU, and most building are manual, right? But for the project with UOB in Thailand, I think actually for that building, it's really one of the good efficiency, like one of the best efficiency building in Thailand. So when you look at their water side efficiency, air side efficiency, and the combination of building efficiency is really good. I think it's lower than like 0.6 kilowatt per ton if you know about like how to calculate building efficiency. But still, there's a gap. So by making building to be more efficient, it can be by design or it can be by data driven. So for our solution, we put the IoT inside and putting brains into the building. Even though that building we have like good efficiency, but things still there's no AI there, there's no data analytics, there's still like some of manual. So we try to put the platform called AutoZero so that we can like get data, analyze, understand the machine, and do the optimization for the building. So we hope that the efficiency gain can be like around like maybe over like 10% from these activities.
Thanks so much, Dr. Am. So we have heard about pilots, right? So the other thing is also in terms of partnerships, right? So partnerships are also crucial in terms of helping GreenTechs to scale. So Carolin, over to you. So I would like to ask you, how do you think, collaborations between corporates and GreenTechs can actually help to accelerate innovation for sustainability?
Sure. Thanks. Hi, everyone. Great to be here. I think there's this very synergetic relationship between GreenTechs and corporates, whereby, as we have just heard from the examples from Circular Unite and Altotech, there's really an opportunity to get access to the latest technology and solutions without the need to develop in-house, which obviously saves cost, saves time, and also is easier in terms of managing the risk. at the same time, for the GreenTechs and startups, we are really dependent on having corporates to work with, to test out our solutions, to help us get market access, sometimes even shared resources. And sometimes these collaborations can also lead to some interesting co-creations or innovations. So to give you a small example of such a co-creation, so the UOB FinLab team has actually been looking at how can they do a little sustainability gamification at their booth, and so they partnered with us, SusGain, to come up with a little gamified persona quiz. So if you are heading over to Hall 2, you can actually check it out at their booth and actually find out how that works. And also maybe a short shout out to a lot of the other GreenTechs that are here at the event. So over there, some of them have a booth as well, and so you can just see also their quite interesting innovative solutions.
Thanks so much, Carolin. Yeah, so do head over to Hall 2. So John, over to you as well. So as participants, right, of our GreenTech Accelerator program, you know, what are some of these partnerships, right, that you have actually established through the program? Maybe you can share some of this.
Okay, thank you, Marianne. And first and foremost, thanks to UOB FinLab for having me here. So through GTA program, actually we managed to secure a couple of partnerships. So maybe I start with the challenge partner side. So we managed to talk to Uniqlo. So you know, for Uniqlo, for them to deliver a good product to your hand, so behind the scene, they use a lot of packaging waste, packaging material, right? And by doing that, right, so you in a way, you generate a lot of waste, right? So, so our role for this is basically we walk inside, we provide a holistic covered solution. So we talk about tackling their sticker waste, right? Their label waste, and now they also talk to us about plastic waste, textile waste, and so on, right? So this is the first important partnership we generate from this GTA program. The other one is something very special, I would say. So actually it happened during the interview session, right? So I went through the GTA program, so I so happened to bump into this company, right? So they also provide solution for recycling. So what they do is basically they turn waste into process engineered fuel, right? So this PEF, in short term, we call it PEF. So this PEF, basically they supply to cement company, then they convert them into energy. So the byproduct, they mix back into cement formula. So totally zero waste, right? And through the GTA program, we so honorable that we met them, then we collaborate. And in fact, we actually just sent one pilot batch to their company and get it processed into product, right? The PEF. So totally zero waste to landfill now, yeah.
Wow, amazing, amazing, John. So I think we also want to, you know, talk about, I'm sure there's challenges, right, you know, when we talk about some of these collaborations as well. So Dr. You know, maybe you can share some of these challenges, right, as well as the opportunities that, you know, can arise, especially when GreenTechs want to work together with larger organizations.
Okay, I think working with a large organization always has challenge for a startup. But I think working with UOB is our experience like really smooth. Okay, because they, I think for UOB they have like target like for example like even building in Thailand they want to comply with BCA for to achieve like the BCA like green mark. So when working with corporates or other organizations, I think the challenge really is like if the organization doesn't have clear goal, they have, oh, okay, we want to do ESG, but we don't know what to do. Tell us, we don't have goal. So with that, I think it's really challenge because we have to not only educate them, we have to lead them and try to find something that work for them. Or even in the past, we do the pilot for them and we invest. Startup invest for corporate. So it doesn't mean that we rich. It means that we want to push something, get it done. Okay, see the result, right? Okay, you have much money, you don't want to spend, so we spend for you. But for I think working with organization like UOB, if they have like target And for example, like, okay, we want to do like BCA, Green Mark, Platinum, and having numbers. I think it's easier for us, and we kind of like try to come up with a solution that help them. But one of the things in what we do in Thailand, as we joining GTA, so everyone having solutions. Like, okay, you do waste, you do energy, you do solar, something. So we kind of like come up with our own one-page solution, and we package. Okay, you want to go net zero? Here's one page. You choose from this catalog. We create our own catalog by talking with friends. I mean, by corporate initiate the program and start up. If we can work together, we don't need to compete, because for us, I think we have one goal. We go net zero, but to be net zero, there are many solutions has to combine. So that's what we end up. I think it's a big achievement when we have this.
So I mean, yeah, thanks, Dr. So I hear that cost is always one of the very important considerations, right? So maybe I'd like to ask Carolin as well, right? When we talk about a net zero sustainability transition, sometimes it always means like significant cost, especially in the short term, right? So how do in your view, right? How do you think most business leaders, would actually accept a loss of revenue, especially in the short term, and also in terms of their reluctance or even some of this inertia that they might have, right? How do you think companies can actually work together?
I think that's a very big problem and question to answer. Generally, I would say the main problem is that a lot of these solutions, they have a long-term benefit. So it might take, like some 5-10 years or even longer to really see the return on an investment. At the same time, when you look at the tenure of senior leaders in organizations, it's actually down to just 3 or 4 years on average. So the big question is like, how can we incentivize or motivate our senior leaders to take decisions that are potentially jeopardizing their bottom line, right? And so I guess one of the levers that is maybe sometimes not explored enough could be looking at also sustainability-linked leadership compensation and KPIs. So really integrating these also closer into the business. And then another area that is really close to our heart, which we feel is oftentimes underrated, is really the whole area of people development and culture. And these transformations that we are talking about, they need really like an all hands on deck approach. But in a lot of organizations, we see there's a handful of passionate individuals, sometimes very at the brink of overwork, who are trying to solve these problems. But it's not that each and everyone in the organization is part of it. And I sometimes take the analogy maybe of industries like shipping or construction, where they have a very strong safety-first culture and mindset. And you can see that every decision in the organization is taken through that lens. Now just imagine if we could have a sustainability-first mindset in an organization and what transformation that would bring. But of course, it's a long way to get there. And for us, in order to help organizations on this journey, we decided to develop a community engagement platform that we use to help organizations drive these behavior change at scale throughout the organization. And so we are helping organizations break down their sustainability strategy into more tangible, actionable activities that each and everyone in the organization can be part of. And then collect also and measure these individual actions and see how they have contribute to a big, greater impact after all.
Thanks, Carolin. Yeah, so I also want to go, into the area of, regional connectivity. So, Emmanuel, right? You have also leveraged on the GreenTech Accelerator program, right? Especially the regional connectivity part of things. Could you share some of these opportunities or partnerships that you have had, and how does it bring the kind of impact to the businesses as well as the industry?
Hi, very good question. So. For Circular Unite, what we focus on is basically adoption of our solution, and one of the things that we are very focused on is to a regional expansion, especially in Malaysia and Thailand as well. So UOB having footprint in Malaysia and Thailand actually helped us a lot, because just a month back, we had an event at Koh Samui for the hospitality industry. So we invited close to about 80 hotels that attended the event together with WWF and the government of Koh Samui, as well as Central Patana, Central Tam. So I actually reached out to UOB last minute to see whether would they be able to attend the event as well, and to share what are the sustainable financing options that the hospitality industry in Koh Samui can actually adopt if they want to go towards the target of net zero. And they happily join the event and share this together with the various stakeholders in the hotel industry. And that basically brings a lot of knowledge and value into the event. And I believe that this kind of partnerships cross-region is very important for startups like ourselves. So being able to leverage on the knowledge and the connections and the channels that UOB has really benefited Circular Unite in this way. And we will continue to work with them in the area of Thailand and Malaysia as well. And that definitely will bring value to not only Circular Unite, but the clients that we work with as well, because they will have access to the products and the services that UOB will be able to offer to them.
Thanks, Emmanuel. I think it's very important to continue such collaborations as well as discussions, right? So over to John as well. You also had regional mentors, right? I mean, you're from Malaysia. You have also had regional mentors from Malaysia and Singapore. Would you have any kind of key learnings or, advice, right, for your mentors that you have that you find that were really useful in terms of navigating this regional collaboration or maybe even future business expansion?
Yeah, actually, this is a very good question. There are a lot of learnings, of course, during the conversation with the mentors from Malaysia and Singapore. But I will just summarize into two things. So basically, we got a lot of insights from the mentors, right? Because they are basically living in the country itself. Then second thing is, the most important one is regulatory landscape. So we wanted to understand if we do this, so any restriction, right? So if there's restriction, so who are the one to talk to, right? So for us, it's very important because we are a startup company, so we are lean, right? So we need to leverage on resources, right? So for us to meet the timeline given by our customer, so we need to define the resources and also the right regulatory thing to obey to, right? And also rely on the insights. So from the mentor itself, this is something that I gained, right? And of course, for now, we are still very small. And in the future, we are leveraging more. And of course, also through UOB also. So recently, I actually almost got same experience like Emmanuel. So also last minute. So I run a brand owner seminar in Johor. So I leveraged on UOB side to get some network to join my seminar. And it's actually happened also. So thanks to UOB that we also nailed down a couple of leads, right? That we can leverage further later on. Yeah.
Thanks so much, John. Yeah, so it's, we heard about the mentorships. Now we also want to talk about something that is also very important, right? It's in terms of measuring success. Okay, so, we talk about pilots, partnerships. Now we want to talk about, how these pilots and partnerships can actually help, in terms of navigating the complexities of larger organizations, especially when it comes to measuring some of these impact as well as outcome. Okay, so ultimately, how do we actually measure the success of this kind of collaboration and also deliver the impact for further commercialization, right? So, so this is my last question. Maybe I'll just open the floor to who would like to go first.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Carolin.
You add on, Emmanuel. I think for us as GreenTechs, pilots are very important because as a first step into an organization, we form a working relationship and see further maybe fine-tune our solutions and collaboration together. And then it actually gives us a very good showcase as well to then market this solution inside the organization at a larger scale, because oftentimes the stakeholders that we work with are also only in charge of maybe one country or one region, and then they need to knock on a lot of internal doors as well, and having that very solid case study can be a good door opener. At the same time, I think one thing that's also important for us as GreenTech is to not undersell our value and our solutions. So, for example, for us, there's always paid pilots, but there's no freebies to get, because I think that's sometimes also important for us to, see for our solutions to be seen as professional solutions that can help real life problems, and there's a value to that as well. Yeah.
I would like to add to that. So we don't undersell our solution, but we don't overpromise as well. So it's very important for us to scope out the deliverables for the pilot projects, so much so that at the end of the pilot project, right, there's a tangible outcome that is measurable. So then it can lead to another discussion on whether should we continue this, and how do we then scale this up from a small unit or even one country to regionally, or even the whole organization. So Circular Unite, in the past 12 months, we have participated in 11 accelerators and challenges. So we have a lot of experience working with organizations, and I would say many of these pilot that we run actually translated to actual paying customers. So these are very successful stories that I will be able to share with you later on in maybe around the stage and after the event itself. But definitely to scope out that deliverables and the target and objective is really very, very important.
So maybe I add one more thing on this. So basically for us, it's quite important that we have a quantifiable metrics, right? So for us, we are a recycler. So basically for us, we need to measure the CO2 emission, for example. How many waste been diverted from landfill? And the most important one is the cost. Would it increase cost for our brand owners? So these are the couple things we need to take note and to have a sustainable journey with our brand owners. Yeah, so maybe I leave that.
Okay, for me, I think to measure success, for us, we want to communicate that green finance is not solar. You know, it's like many of our customers, when you approach hotel, green finance equal solar. No, it's not, right? Many people ask, oh, okay, I install solar, what I do next, right? There's so many things that they can do under the roof. So I think it's a success. Okay, we communicate, okay, you can do a lot. And for us, when we do energy saving, you know, it's kind of like, you can ask if they want to save energy, how much energy saving you have this year compared to last year. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna subtract energy consumption this year from last year, or this month, January this year to January last year. Is totally wrong. You know, it's like, actually there's a standard called IPMVP. So there's a standard that how can we measure energy saving and carbon reduction. Most people, when we calculate savings, we have our own standards. And for example, like some of the building, you know, it's like a hotel in Thailand, they do energy efficiency improvement, they get the better energy efficiency, but energy consumption this year not reduced. And they wonder why. What happened? I replace chillers, I doing like things that say, gain better efficiency, but energy consumption doesn't reduce. They forgot to calculate for like outdoor weather. This year is a lot hotter than last year. So if you don't calculate this, you don't take this factor into account, you don't have the standards to calculate saving and carbon reduction, it's not gonna go anywhere, right? So we also measure how we promote this and how we understanding of customer as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so with that, maybe I can just do one quick one, just a word of advice, right, that you have, because I'm sure there's quite a number of tech solutions out there here in the audience. So just one quick advice that you have, right, to the audience here in terms of how they can actually collaborate and also work with a corporate to drive impact.
I start again?
Yeah.
I guess sometimes as the GreenTech, we are so sure that we have the right solution to address a specific problem in a corporate, but how do we get in? How do we going to share with them about that? And so my piece of advice would be maybe to not only knock on one door, and if the door is closed, let it be, but really network more widely to really identify the right stakeholders in the organization, and ultimately you will get there.
Okay, Emmanuel?
Yeah. For me would be to, again, communication is key. So it's just like a relationship, right? It's not about you sharing your solution, but you understanding your customer's pain point. And from there, customize your solution to a certain extent, so much so that it fits and it definitely will solve a certain pain point that your customer will have. So keep an open mind and be adaptable, because at the end of the day, whatever you have thought of at the start will not be what you will deliver at the end. Yeah, that's something that I learned from the many accelerators that we participated in.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Quick one from John.
Yep. So I almost share the same thing like Emmanuel. So just that we need to also make the cost efficient to our brand owners, so wouldn't like burden them and etc. Right? And also we need to keep within the timeline they demanded also. I think most of the companies that I work with, the MNC, they actually set a target, like for example 2025, no landfill or zero landfill, right? So we need to meet this kind of timeline for them. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly for me, I think collaboration is the key. I talked with Carolin another day. It's like, okay, we good at talking to machines, but we're not good at talking to people. So, but I think it has to be, to like achieve net zero, we need collaboration. People, machine, everything gonna need to integrate in all of the roles. Yep.
With that, I guess we'd like to close off this panel. Thank you so much to all our wonderful panelists, Carolin, Emmanuel, John, as well as Dr. So can we give them a round of applause, please?
Thank you so much, speakers, for sharing with us today.